Islanders, you've heard it said before, it's all about the Benjamins, and there's a lot of truth in that. I don't even have Benjamins. All I have, it's Washington. Washington for me. On the show today, we shared the latest from Carnival Cruise Line as they announce price hikes on certain experiences, certain goods and items. The Carnival Chorus, as I call them, those faithful to Carnival, aren't happy, of course, because this is not the first rodeo when it comes to price increases. We're also going to talk about Cozumel, Mexico, one of the most popular ports in the Caribbean. Some people love it, some people hate it. Cozumel seeing record amount of ships and passengers the first quarter of 2023. And lastly, we will actually start off the show with a feel-good story. Carnival Cruise Line rescuing 24 individuals stranded at sea. We all need some time in the islands. Let's go there now on Island Time. A big happy Wednesday to all you Islanders. We are halfway through the week, and if you're watching this, we are on the downhill slide. Thank you for stopping by the show today. This is Island Time. I am Derek. We are dropping our anchors and taking some time to relax in the islands together. We're about to share the latest in cruising and cruise news, but before we do that, I want to thank you for your comments and your time and effort and energy spent on Monday's show. We shared the latest regarding Carnival Cruise Line and their VIFP program. You shared what you wanted to stay in the program, what you want to see change. We had hundreds of comments and ideas, some of them very interesting, unique, creative. We thank you for sharing those comments. And we remind you, anytime you feel like you need to share what's on your mind, if I say something and you want to add to it, you have a little piece of information that you know you've experienced, be sure you share that. We are a community. That's exactly why we are here. Let's get started on the latest in cruising and cruise news. I told you that we would start with this story first. The Carnival Spirit rescuing 24 people stranded at sea. The Carnival Spirit, of course, sails from Miami. She set sail on April the 8th. She was headed to Aruba, where she is there today. The Spirit, though, on her way to Aruba off the coast of the Dominican Republic, saw this vessel, this boat with lots of people in the boat, 24 people to be exact. That's a lot of people. We see these rescue operations take place from time to time, and usually it's a small number of people, usually single digits, 5, 6, 7 people. This is 24 people that were rescued by the crew on Carnival Spirit. We're thankful that passengers on board captured this experience, and they shared these pictures with us. Catherine Mueller and Tracy Gayon were on board, and they shared these pictures that you're looking at now. Some interesting information about this rescue. Carnival made sure that these people were taken care of. They took them on board. They tended to their needs, gave them food and water and medical attention, checking out each of the 24 people, making sure they're okay. They didn't need anything. After that activity took place, Carnival Cruise Line contacted the Coast Guard, which is what they do in situations just like this. They contact the Coast Guard. They let them know we have 24 people on board. The Coast Guard yesterday afternoon around 2 o'clock met the ship. They took these 24 individuals off board where they will be processed. But what an awesome event. The right place at the right time for Carnival Cruise Line to show humanity, love, and to reach out to 24 people who needed to be rescued. Congratulations to Carnival, the crew on board the Carnival Spirit, and thank all of you for sharing your experience with us. Let's get to cruise news story number 2. This story so many of you will be interested in. There have already been people who have weighed in on this discussion and story on our Facebook page. Price increases are nothing new. For Carnival Cruise Line and across the entire industry, we have seen month after month price increases on everything from specialty dining to internet to the cruise cost itself to gratuities. And Carnival Cruise Line is taking a next step. They're sharing the latest price increases, this one involving experiences and some items in the fun shop. As we get into this story, let me ask you this here. Have you ever visited Carnival's private island, Half Moon Cay? Have you ever visited Amber Cove, Dominican Republic? The news today and price increases today have to deal with experiences that passengers are able to purchase at Half Moon Cay and Amber Cove. The villas and cabanas at these locations are what is going up. And you may say they just went up not too long ago, and they did. You've seen this price go up several times, but let's talk about these cabanas. Let's talk about the new price. Let's talk about why right now on the show today. Here's what we know Carnival has shared with us. The beach villa that is at Half Moon Cay, it's a unique place, right? It is 2 stories, it's beachside, it's unobstructed ocean views. The price has been $649.99. That price is going up to $999. You get a lot for that, okay? First off, 8 people can stay in these villas. It's 2-story, beautiful views. You get drinks and snacks. You get water toys. There's a hot tub. There's a sun deck that you can lay on. There's air conditioning in the Caribbean. $999. Some people are upset about that. There is a cheaper option if you cannot afford that. The cabanas that are offered at Half Moon Cay, they are also going up. They have been $449.99. They are now $699. It's a cheaper option, and it's 1 story. Air conditioning is still there. You still get your snacks. You still get your toys, food and drinks, things like that. But it's a cheaper option. These cabanas are very popular. Their prices have gone up. We're going to talk about the price increase and why that could be here in just a second. But Half Moon Cay is not the only place that this is offered. Amber Cove, a beautiful stop in the Dominican Republic, a very popular stop in the Dominican Republic. They offer 4 different options for passengers like you and I to enjoy a little specialty treat, right? To splurge for the day and to have one of these cabanas. They have 4 different cabanas. The new prices of those cabanas, the Hillside Cabana is now $479.99. The Poolside and Ocean Cabanas are just a little bit more, $499.99. And the Grand Cabanas, that price has increased, listen to this, $1,999.99. Now, why? Everyone's asking why. Why do you have to increase the price of these cabanas, these experiences? Some people are saying, I could barely afford these before when we broke it up and split it up among several people. Now I can't afford them at all. Remember this. There are other things you can do at Half Moon Cay and Amber Cove that do not involve renting these cabanas and villas. There's loungers. There's umbrellas. You can go cheap, okay? And a lot of people do that. So let me remind you of that first. But why? Why is the price increasing? Let's start with reason number 1, supply and demand. Amanda and I have been to both of these locations, and we have looked at excursions. We have looked at these cabanas and villas. They sell out way in advance. You may have noticed this as well. They sell out so early. There's not very many of them. Supply and demand says if you don't have very much of something, you can charge more for it. You might get to a ceiling eventually, but Carnival is charging more because there are not many of these available and they sell out so quick. We also have to remind ourselves, people who are saying this is wrong, Carnival shouldn't do this, people can't afford this now. Carnival Cruise Line and Carnival Corporation are businesses. They are for-profit businesses. Money is involved in every decision-making process, every decision. The money conversation takes place, right? They are trying to make money for their shareholders. They are a publicly owned company. They want to make money. At the end of the day, it is a business. And Carnival, another reason, Carnival has shared they want to invest in Half Moon Cay. They want to make it rival other locations from other cruise lines. Private islands are awesome. They are. And Carnival wants to invest in Half Moon Cay, and this is a way that they can do so. Let me ask you, Islanders, do you think this is fair? Let me throw out the F word. Do you think this is fair? Do you think this is right? Personally, I think it is. Supply and demand calls for it. People will still purchase these villas and cabanas at both locations for the new prices that they are reserved at. I also wanted to share this as well. Carnival is raising prices on some fun shop items. Amanda and I have noticed this only because we send gifts a lot of times to our clients who book big trips with us and spend a ton of money on their trips. We send gifts, okay? That's what we should do as travel advisors. And we've noticed that like a plate of cookies or chocolate-covered strawberries or a cake, it's gone up. It's gone up $2 or $3, which is 10 or 15%. So some items in the fun shop that maybe you buy or you buy for others, you will see that price increase as well. We've noticed it the last week. Let's talk about Cozumel, Mexico. Cozumel gets a bad rap by some people. There's people who love the Port of Call, and there's people who hate it. Those who do not like the Port of Call, do you know what the number one reason they share why they don't like Cozumel, Mexico? We hear it almost daily. We've been there so many times. That's what they say. We have been there so many times. Cozumel has so much to offer. It's a beautiful place to go, and there's so many different things to do. I know many of you do the same thing over and over, right? You go to Mr. Sancho's, you go to Paradise Beach, you go to Passion Island, but there's so much more. If you need help with what to do in Cozumel, if you want something different, please email me. Shoot me an email. Say, hey, I'm going to Cozumel. I don't care if I own your booking, if I'm helping you manage your cruise or not. I will help you with this because I want you to have fun in Cozumel. But Cozumel is seeing some unbelievable numbers when it comes to number of cruise ships and passengers. And there's a reason why I'm mentioning this to you. I'll get to that in just a minute. For January, February, and March of this year, Cozumel saw a 104% increase in the number of cruise passengers who visited Cozumel as of January, February, and March of 2022. 104% increase. Listen to these numbers. 390 ships visited Cozumel, Mexico in January, February, and March. 390. You heard that right. In 3 months of this year. How many passengers are on those cruise ships? It's over 1.2 million. To be exact, 1,230,627 passengers on those cruise ships in just 3 months. And you may be asking, Derek, why? We already know Cozumel is one of the most popular ports of call. We know. Here's why I mention it. We get questions almost daily about safety. Safety in Mexico. We get so many emails that start, well, I've been watching the news or I saw on social media, it's not safe in Mexico. And that may be the case in certain places in Mexico. But I want to share that in 3 months, 390 ships, 1.2 million passengers visited Cozumel, and it is safe. How many news stories did you hear about something happening to cruise passengers in Cozumel, Mexico the last 3 months? Almost nothing. I've seen nothing. Things do happen in Cozumel as they do around the world. But it's not an unsafe place to visit. And we get that question all the time. I want to go on this trip. I want to go on this ship. But it goes to Cozumel and it's not safe. Cozumel is safe. The numbers don't lie. Cozumel, Mexico expects 1,154 cruise ships this calendar year of 2023 with over 3.7 million guests visiting. It's a place that you need to go. And when you get there, don't stay on the ship. Get off and do something. Islanders, that is the latest in cruising and cruise news. We hope you enjoyed those news stories. There's so much to discuss. Be sure to put your stamp on it. Share your comments in the comment section below. Be sure as well that if you're not part of this community yet, that you subscribe and you ring the bell. Ringing the bell, make sure that you get notifications when we upload content. We ask you simply, give us that thumbs up. That thumbs up means a lot to us. It will put this video in front of other people who are looking for cruise news just like you are. Islanders, we'll see you in the comment section below on our Facebook page and tomorrow right here on Island Time.